everybody. Welcome to another edition of Weezy. And I am so excited today because this month is June. It's one of my favorite months of the year. It brings me joy. And that is what we want to express this month is gratitude, joy, and the key word for today is happiness. And I have someone here today that's going to guide us, introduce us to different pillars of life that can get us to grow from our day to day to find that happiness within. Hey, everybody, welcome back. So, I am so excited for you to, if you've never met my guest, she has been a guest here before, but she's coming back to remind us because it's been a few years since she's been on here with me. And she is Lianne Hofer, who is a happiness expert. And she's going to give us some tips of how we can kind of dig in and find happiness in our day to day lives. Welcome, Leanne. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. This is so exciting.
I know it's been a hot minute since before COVID, since I've had you on here. And I think with the state of things that continue to go on in our lives around the world, um, we need to be able to. We really have to dig in these days in order to find some happiness in our day to day. Because um, I I do my live show and I did some information about happiness and gratitude and stuff, and we have to find it intentionally, don't we? We have to find it within ourselves. We can't expect others to give it to us.
Well, that's where true happiness comes from. It comes from inside. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, can you refresh us on your story on how you decided to become happy?
Of course. And I want to also congratulate you because gratitude is the fast track to happiness. Um,
Yay!
Yay. Yeah. So, my happiness story starts at the age of 4. I grew up in a pretty rough household. I think a lot of us can definitely relate to that.
Hmm.
And I was 4 years old, and of course, I'm out running errands with my mom. And that day, I wore, remember those patent leather shoes that had the little heel and the little Mary Janes, and they clickety clacked when you walked on the hard floor? Yeah, and you felt
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
big grown up when you wore them. Yeah,
yeah.
I had those on that day. So we're out running errands, and it's getting to be lunchtime. And we went to this little coffee shop, and the waitress that came in and greeted us was the same waitress that always served us when we went there. So I'm wearing my little clickety clack shoes and I'm feeling like I'm all that. And I walk over. Well, guess what they did? They didn't seat us at a table, they sat us at a two-person booth. As a 4 year old, I got to sit all by myself. I had to sit across from
Ooh,
my mom. Oh, yeah. And
big
just like,
stuff.
yeah. And got my doll set next to me, and then she gave us the menus, and just like my mom, I looked at every picture on every page of that menu, even though I knew what I was getting. And then just like my mom, I put the menu at the end of the table so the waitress knew to come and take our order. And the waitress comes
Hmm.
over, she's snapping her gum, she's got a little pep in her step, she's like, "Hey, sweetheart, what do you want?" Of course I ordered. And then she turned around and she looked at my mom, and my mom was the complete epitome of grumpy. She was short, she was rude, she barely looked at her. She grabbed the menu to relook at what she wanted, and then she practically threw it at the woman. And I watched the woman walk away with her shoulders slumped, and she was barely picking up her feet. Smile was gone. She was not snapping the gum anymore. And I thought to myself in that moment, I don't want to be like that. I want to be happy.
You want to be like the waitress and have a little pep in your step. And if you were to
Yeah.
be chewing gum, give it a little extra sound.
Ex- exactly. And the other thing was I wanted people to leave me just as happy or happier than they came to me. That was the other side to it. Now, everybody has a
Yeah.
bad day. My mom had her own things and she was working on her own stuff, but that was my decision. And that's where happiness starts. It starts with making the decision and the commitment to be happy.
Yep. And I just my one takeaway from that before we even move on is we even when somebody gives us their sour grapes, do we meet that mood? Do we slump in the mood or do we choose? And I bet you that's what you're going to give us some information on that today, aren't you?
So we're going to talk a little bit about that.
So, so you chose on that day that you weren't going to be like that. So you have come up with this concept of happy. Can you just explain to us really quick what what you do to work with this? What
Sure.
does that exactly mean?
So to work with being happy.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. So, well, I made a commitment at obviously at the age of 4, which was, half a century ago at this point, to be happy. Now, does that mean that I'm bubbly and effervescent all the time? No. Not at all. As a matter of fact, I was a grade A, what, the other day. My husband even said to me, "You need to go sleep in the other room."
Oh,
You know,
we all have our moments.
everybody's got a moment. So, but yeah, it's finding those little treasures during the day. So one of the ways that we talk about being happy is savoring. So savor the moment when you have something that's great. You're running your hands under some warm water and that soap feels really good. Savor the moment and
Yeah.
enjoy the scent and enjoy the way it feels. So that's what I try to teach people when I'm working with them is little things like that. And I am a residential organizer, so I go into people's homes and help them kind of unbury their happiness because we tend to bury it. That's the physical bury.
Yeah. Um, so I'm sure so when you're helping these people declutter and organize, um, I bet you there's some things that's buried in there that they forgot that did bring them joy at one time, and then they
Oh,
have a
girl,
reminiscent story.
every day in my world, it's Christmas. Oh, I've been looking for that. Oh, where did that go? So it does make my job really a lot of fun.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So in reading your profile on your website, you say that you have 9 pillars to happiness. So could you just quickly kind of give us a overall outlook on that? And then there's certain ones that I have picked out that I would like to come back and discuss.
Sure. So there's a lot of different parts to anything. There's never one
Mhm.
simple answer, right? I mean, Tony Robbins does a big event and he doesn't do it in a half a day. It takes him 5 days to get it all out. So happiness is the same thing. It's not something that's just one thing. It's all these little pieces that you put together. So I have them written down to make sure I don't forget one because I always forget one. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to own it. It's like you just need to own that you're going to be happy. You have to take ownership over it. Any major change that you're going to make, anything that you're going to do, you have to own it. You want to lose weight, you have to own it. Um, the next one is don't believe everything that you think because we
Mm,
we think a lot, right? We got that whole I'm not good
mhm.
enough thing going on. Oh yeah. Um, let love lead. Come from your heart. Lead from your heart. Um, make yourselves happy. Being healthy. Um, plug yourself into spirit. So there's that spiritual concept that really helps, that there's a higher power out there. Live a life inspired by purpose
Mm.
and cultivate nourishing relationships. We need to have those relationships around us. And then the last one is to let go of the stuff that doesn't serve you anymore.
Ooh, that can be hard.
Yeah, that's probably the most challenging, which is why it's at the end.
Yeah, yeah. Get this other stuff going and then
Celebrate the wins. Yeah.
celebrate the wins. Celebrate the wins. Okay, so the first one that really stuck out to me is don't believe everything you think.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. Yeah. That one is a mouthful. But I mean, it's true, right? I mean, if we talk to our best friend or our lover the way we talk to ourselves, would our best friend or our lover still be hanging around with us? Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
No, because I mean, when you go and you get undressed at the end of the day and you look at yourself in the mirror, you critique yourself. We are taught that. Society
Uh,
taught us that
our
because the
running list of faults, the inadequacies we feel, and it's like I didn't. I'm less
yeah,
than. Ah.
all the things that are wrong. We don't talk about the things that we did right. So, all right, so I'm going to give you a challenge to do. And this is super
Okay.
simple. You only have to do it. And there was actually a study that was done for this. You only have to do it for 7 days and it will affect you for up to 6 months.
Oh wow.
Okay. Super simple.
Okay.
Pick a time during the day, doesn't matter, morning or afternoon or evening, and pick 3 things that happened in the last 24 hours that were positive. And they can be something as simple as I remembered to lock the door when I came in this morning. It
Mm.
doesn't have to be anything major, just 3 positive things. I held the door for the lady at the bank. I ran 2 miles today. I remembered to drink 8 glasses of water. I didn't hold my I didn't sit at my desk all day without going to the restroom. I actually went to the restroom during the day. It can be
The
any.
one that kind of comes to mind is, and I wish I would have given myself gratitude for this, and maybe give myself gratitude for this, is when somebody rubs me the wrong way. I didn't I didn't yell. I didn't I may have reacted inside, but nothing came out of here to be that grumpy self.
Yeah, so that could be a win, right? So
Yes.
write down the 3 great things that happened, 3 things. And they don't have to be major. They can be something small, but 3 things that you did. It can be you emptied the dishwasher. You remember to, like you said, you didn't go off at somebody that rubbed you wrong, but do it every day for 1 week. Okay, so don't believe everything you think because you have like 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day and 45,000 of them are negative. They're called ants, automatic negative thoughts. We have ants running around in our
Mm.
head. Remember your mom used to say you had ants in your pants? No,
Yeah.
they're not in your pants, they're in your head. So,
Oh yeah.
but they're automatic negative thoughts. We're wired for negativity because in the past, that negativity, that fight or flight response is what kept us safe. And if we
Hmm.
lived in a traumatic childhood, we had that to keep us safe. Or if we were in a relationship that was, violent or something, we had those. So how do you turn those off when out of those 60,000 thoughts that you have, 45,000 were the same ones you had yesterday, and most of them are negative?
Hmm.
So how do you reprogram those? They can actually be reprogrammed. And that's the cool
How?
thing.
We want to know how.
I just told you that's one of the ways you start doing those lists. It's those little tiny appreciation moments of doing those.
Yeah.
So do you
Finding appreciation in the small
exactly. Do you want to
or the
do
major.
do you want to do something?
Sure.
Okay. I think we did this one before. On your wrist, there's like these little folds. So you can see like that little fold on my wrist right there. See that fold right there? And you've got one on
Oh, yep.
both sides. Line them up and then put your hands together and see how the tips of your fingers come together.
Mhm.
Okay? Got a mental picture?
Yep.
Okay. Now take one of your hands away and look at this hand. And I want you to look at it and I want you to speak to it like this. You ready? This is going to be a little weird. It's going to feel funny, but I want you to do it anyway. Ready? I
Okay.
love you. You're beautiful. You're a big,
I love
strong
you.
hand. You're amazing. You're the
You're
best hand
beautiful.
ever.
You're amazing. You produce a lot of creativity upon your
Oh.
day.
You are filled with so much love. When you see people, you wrap yourself around people and show them so much love. You are an amazing hand.
You show people so much love and acceptance and grace and mercy each and every day. And this is what makes you an amazing hand and
Now look at
person.
now look at your hand and say grow. Grow,
Grow,
grow, grow,
grow,
grow,
grow,
grow,
grow,
grow,
grow,
grow, grow, grow.
grow, 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 grow.
Okay. Now, line yourself up. Put your hands together. Can you see how that hand got taller?
Yep, it matches up now. It was
Isn't that cool?
slightly below. That is cool.
So if you can grow your hand, and by the way, that doesn't stay, and this is something you can do with your kids, and if they really start to freak out, have them do the same thing to the other hand and they'll match back up. It doesn't last forever. But here's the thing. If we can talk to our hand and make our hand grow, and that's actually in, I think it's Tai Chi it comes from, or Qigong. I'm not sure. One of those practices is where it came from.
Okay.
But here's the thing. If you can do that to your hand, imagine if we started talking nicer to ourselves.
So true.
And I'm going to
And
take that even
that
another
comes
step.
back to,
Go
oh,
ahead.
wait a minute. While we're still here on the hand, it's it's a new meaning to talk to the hand because there's a saying out there, talk to the hand because the face ain't listening. So we're taking that back. No, we are going to listen to and talk to the hand, and it
Yeah,
will listen.
the hand is listening.
Uh, so I'm sorry I interrupted you
Oh,
there.
no, it's
What
all
is
good.
the next?
But now imagine if we talk to everybody else the same way,
Mhm.
like we just talked to that hand.
So giving loving words of inspiration or happiness, talking into them in a positive way can help grow
Exactly.
that. Awesome.
Exactly.
Make change.
And that's
Mhm.
how we get to be the ripple that I think it's Mother Teresa said, she wanted to or somebody said it, be the ripple that you want to see in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually am a leader in a accountability group, and it's called Limitless.
Hmm.
And my image is that one drop of water going into the water, and then the perfect circle around it of rippling out from that.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love it. Yes. So be the ripple.
Be the ripple.
Be the ripple.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So the other pillar that really stuck out to me is declutter, because for me, decluttering has so many different levels of meanings that can encompass in that. Tell us about how decluttering things brings us happiness.
Yeah. So, like I said, I spend time in people's closets, and it's really fun when they get done with their closet and they're rolling around on the floor and they're just giggling with joy or jumping up and down. There's nothing like seeing a grown woman jumping up and down, yay! They're all so happy. But what happens is, we're marketed to. We're marketed to a ton. They spend loads of money marketing to
Mm,
us to get us to buy the latest thing. So just think about your kitchen. Do you have a blender, a NutriBullet, and a Ninja? Most people do. But here's the thing. The NutriBullet and the blender can probably be taken over by the Ninja, but we still bought the latest and the greatest because we thought it would make us happy. And it made us happy when we bought it because we thought we were going to get all healthy and happy, and we're going to be able to make all these great things. But then we have another small appliance that's in the cabinet that's impossible to get to. You don't have all the parts together, and it's just easier to order out, which is not the reason why you got the Ninja. So when we declutter and we let go of those other things, we can reach it better, which will make us happier. But the other thing that happens is we actually lose sight or don't have a good grip of how happy we think something will make us. So, do you remember the last time you bought a car?
It's been a hot minute, but yeah.
Yeah, so when you bought that new car, you were so excited, right? You wouldn't eat in the
Hmm.
car, you hand washed it with, soft towels. And now you've had your car for a while. I've had some of my cars as long as 12 years, right? What am I doing at
Yeah.
12 years? I'm taking it to the gas station drive-through just to get the dirt off of it so that I can see out the window. Like, it's not that important anymore. I eat in my car all the time. That's where my husband always jokes it's not a restaurant. Um,
But you're
I
a
mean,
busy woman because you're helping all these people declutter.
yes, got to eat somewhere. But here's the thing, I vacuum it regularly, which still keeps me feeling good about the car, but I'm certainly not as happy as I once was. Or how about the latest electronic thing that you bought? You bought the new phone. Remember, everyone bought the iPhone, the 3, I think it was. Everyone was so excited to get the 3. And then the 4 came out. Oh, wait a minute. And then the 5 came out. Oh, and then the 10 was the best. And now we're at what, the 16 or something?
I think 13.
13.
Hmm.
So everyone keeps trying to buy the latest because we think it's going to make us happier. When in reality, it's letting go of all of that stuff that we've accumulated that's going to keep our lives simpler, which is why we're buying those things. So if we let go of that extra blender, if we let go of that old phone, and if we go through the stuff that we've got and let go of those things that don't serve us anymore, that's what's going to make us happy.
Very good. Um, so do you have some stories of decluttering and the person having a transformation when you're in there
Oh, yeah.
organizing and the decluttering?
How many do you want? So
Ah,
I want to start this all off with everyone thinks that money's the answer, right? There's a myth
mhm.
out there, the myth of more. And the myth says that the more I get, the happier I'll be. So the more money I'll get, the happier I'll be. And I got something to tell you. That's so not true. They actually
No,
have
it's
done
not true.
studies, and the people that have most of the money are not happy. I've been in the home of millionaires, I've been in the home of billionaires, and I will tell you two universal truths. Money doesn't buy happiness, and everyone buys their underwear at Costco. Everyone.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
why do you want to spend oodles of money on that?
But there are people that do spend oodles of money on that, and they're not happy.
No.
No. So when you let the things go that, like, let's take a closet, for example. I've spent the last 2 weeks in closets. So when you go into your closet and you look at all of the clothes that are hanging up, you've worked hard for the money to buy all those clothes, and they're all in there. And what's the first thing that you say when it's time to go and get on camera or go to an event? What's I have nothing to
I
wear.
have nowhere.
Exactly. But here's the thing, you've got a closet full of clothes. So anything that's in there, let those things go, because
Mhm.
when you let those things go, now when you go in there, everything that's in the closet fits, makes you feel good, it's in good condition. It doesn't matter if it's only 15 things. There's a capsule wardrobe that you can do. We only need 33 pieces of clothing outside of
Wow.
exercise clothes and pajamas.
Right. Well, guess what I did? Like first thing Monday morning before I started on anything this week.
What did you do?
I probably I went through my closet and shirts that I knew I was not going to wear next season, that we just came out of the cooler weather season, shirts that I knew I wasn't going to wear in the next season going forward because I've had them like probably 3 or 4 years.
Hmm.
Um I've been on camera with them quite often and they don't fit the same because I have fluctuated in weight and um
But our
they
bodies
don't
change.
fit, yeah,
Our
they
bodies
don't fit me
change.
the same. I do have to caveat that they fit in a they look too big on me now.
Like I said, our
So
bodies
that's a good thing.
change. Yeah.
Our bodies change. So but uh so I went through that and I went through, it's now summertime. What are we really truly going to wear this summer? What do we really truly need to have? This is my mindset with my closet. What do I truly need to have? So I'm really going, not kind of, I am going in the direction that you were just talking about. It's like how many pieces do we really need? Do we need to have so many of one thing, one style? Because there would a certain style will come out, and I used to be a compulsive shopper, and it's like if I'm going to have one and I really like it, I'm going to have five.
Hmm.
So I went through and I found the ones that I really like and I still enjoy wearing. The rest of them, it's like I maybe wore you once, I maybe wore you twice, and you didn't bring me the joy that I thought you would. You're going in the bag.
Good for
So
you.
that is how I started my Monday morning
Did,
was decluttering my closet. And this morning, even before doing all of this, um, I was going through my toiletry. drawers, things I haven't used in years, or I just, it's like, you're empty. There's no reason for you to be here. You need to go.
Yeah. Well, for some
And
of
just taking a
that,
moment.
yeah, for some of that, after 2 years of cosmetics being in the bathroom where it's steamy and it's warm, it grows bacteria. So after 2 years, scents change. And do you really want to use shampoo or conditioner or a lotion where the smell has turned and it doesn't smell good anymore?
No.
So you can let go of those things. I mean, those are pretty easy. Anything that's got a nice layer of dust on it, you're not going to use it, throw it away. But things that
Yeah.
you're putting on your face or your body specifically, especially if you're touching it to your hand or touching it to something, it's picking up bacteria from that, and the bacteria is going to grow because it's a warm,
Mm.
moist environment.
Yeah. Yeah. So two tips there, and you don't want to make yourself sick, because then you're not going to feel happy if you feel sick.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Although, believe it or not, they've actually done some studies and said that people who were really sick, people who faced cancer, people who lost limbs, things like that, they found that their happiness would actually, once the event was over, that in many cases, their happiness levels returned to what they were before the event.
Oh, that's awesome to know.
Yep.
That's very good to know. Um, before we give up on this declutter, so we've been talking about some physical, tangible things, but what's something else that we can declutter, Leanne?
So before we leave the things, I would give a challenge for that because I like to give challenges.
Yeah.
And the challenge would be to eliminate 9 things from your home every day for 30 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I've got started.
you did. You got a huge jump on it. So yeah, just 9 things.
Nine
And
things.
then and then
Well,
the and then the trick is not to drive around in your car for, 3 months to wait till you donate them.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's something else I've gotten, unless I'm like collecting so that I have a bigger pile. Um, but that is something that I started practicing, is if I've
Driving
decluttered
around
it,
with it in your car for 3
I
months.
I take no, I take it, I put it in the car, and then I go find Goodwill or one of these other bins that are in parking lots. You don't even have to go to Goodwill. There's bins everywhere these days.
And some of the charities will even pick up at your door.
Yeah,
Like
true.
I know Kidney Foundation,
Yeah.
nationally and will do that. So yeah,
Yeah. So you don't even have to leave the house if you don't want to.
I love
Just pick up the phone or go on the internet and take care of
that.
it.
And depending on what it is, you can even put a sign at the end of the end of the driveway and put free.
Yeah.
We've
And
done
people
that.
will pick it up.
Yep.
People will pick it up. I've been known to pick things up
I have
that
two.
people put out there.
I have two. I picked up some plastic drawers once. I was so excited.
Yeah. It saves you those. It may just be a few dollars for those plastic baskets, but hey, it's a few dollars still in your pocket,
But
right?
then it also saves from the landfill, right? Because now
Yeah.
somebody's reusing it. Do you remember there was a TV show a long time ago on HGTV where these guys were challenged to go and rummage through the trash and pick up something and then repurpose it and turn it into something useful?
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of
Yep.
fun to watch. Yeah.
I still love doing that kind of stuff. It's just I have no place to put anything anymore, and so um I just don't do it as much anymore because I have things that I thought I would
You have
resell,
those, yeah, you have
and
you
they
have those
didn't.
projects.
So I don't pick up so much stuff anymore because I don't want the clutter.
There you go. I like it. I like it. And then you don't have the guilt of I didn't do it or it didn't get done or something hanging over your head.
Yep. Very good. Um, so um is there other aspects of decluttering other than just the physical that we can do to kind of de-
Move things along to be
declutter and
happier.
move? Mm-hmm.
So
Thank you.
so part of that is so let's go back to the thoughts for a moment because I think those are a place where we could really declutter. There's
Mm-hmm.
a woman out there called Byron Katie, and the work is what it's called, the work. And the questions are when you say something, is this true? Is it absolutely true? Who would I be if it wasn't true?
Hmm. Okay.
So it's a great way to kind of help work through some, I think I missed one. But that's a great way to work through how to let go of some of those negative thoughts and those non-uplifting thoughts that we have in our heads all the time.
Okay, Leanne. So we've covered declutter in physical and mental ways that we can release. So now the other pillar that I would like to discuss is cultivating those healthy relationships.
Yes, yes, yes. We need those, especially as women. We are social
Hmm.
creatures. Hello. Yes.
Yeah, COVID kind of shut that down for in personal ways. I know I connected with different people on the internet, but it's still not the same as always being able to be in person. But
No.
but still, no matter how you get those relationships, um, I truly um, enjoy those relationships that I have chosen to cultivate in the last 3 years,
Yeah.
if it's in person or on the internet. However,
Yeah, I think that the world at large has changed so much. We used to live in the same community, and some people do. But generally speaking, we don't live in the same community as our
mm-mm,
families do anymore. So we've lost that support system, and we need to have people around us that we can talk to, and people that where it's safe to share how you feel and what you're working through and thoughts that you have where you can get honest feedback. So you
yeah,
need to have those relationships. What's fascinating is energetically, in the past 2 years, we were told to stay 6 feet away from each other. There's a group
mm-hmm,
out there called the Heart Math Institute, and they did studies, and the heart is more electric than the brain. So they can read the heart from a wider place than they can from the brain. So to read the brain activity, they've got to be super close. But to read the heart activity, guess how far they go out? 3 to 6 feet.
oh wow,
So
oh
when
wow,
you talk about walking into a room and being able to feel the energy of a room, it's
hmm,
true. You really do feel the energy of a room. Yeah.
yeah,
And
I
that's
I
why,
totally
yeah, you ever get that
agree.
feeling, that creepy feeling about somebody? That's
Hmm.
part of it. It's that interaction of that space around them. Isn't that
Yeah,
cool?
it is cool, and we really do need to heed. Don't think yourself silly when those little sonars, those little feelers come out and go,
Yeah,
because
trust your gut.
trust your gut because so many times I didn't. I'm going, you're just being silly, and I was not being silly.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's something that people sometimes lose with that. Like that's important. So one of the things that's also really good about nourishing relationships is creating healthy boundaries.
Hmm.
Having that space where I'm willing to go this far, and that's as far as I'm willing to go. And there's things we're going to talk about and things I'm not willing to talk about. If you're going to get into a huge argument with somebody over politics, then for Pete's sake, stay away from it. Just agree not to go there.
Right, right. And there's some people um, learning my own boundaries with people. I used to just share everything with everybody, and it's like, and then as you get older and wiser, you learn there's certain people and there's certain levels of relationship.
Yes.
Some are closer, very few are your closest, and the rest are, it's like I know how far I can go with you. I know how I can treat you. And
Hmm.
but also for me, I have found how am I going to allow those people to treat me? And
Exactly.
it's not like a oh, but it's like I hear what you're saying. I hear how you're saying it, but it is really up to me to go, I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but we need to come off this subject.
Yes. Yes. Yep. And there's something to say with, just we can't talk about that right now.
Yeah, I'm not prepared to go there.
Yeah. And that's
You
okay.
know, you can always, and in the happiness thing is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but these, some of those inner dialogues that we're decluttering, um, is we can choose the responses. We can think about different ways in and how we want to choose to respond
And that's Jack
and the words
Canfield,
we choose.
right? That's Jack Canfield. The event plus the response equals the outcome. So
Yeah,
it's your response to the event that creates that outcome. And, you can have supportive people around you that aren't even here anymore. You can have quotes from Einstein around you. You can have
hmm,
quotes from people that you wouldn't necessarily meet. So if there's inspirational quotes, have those around, stick them on a sticky and stick them on your mirror, stick them on your dashboard of your car so that you can see them regularly.
yeah. Those positive reinforcement, um, things that you know, and they bring you happiness.
Yeah.
They help you
Well, that
grow.
it's that feeling of expansion, right? When you feel like you want to throw your arms around somebody, that's when you know you found the right thing. When you're reading through quotes, you're like, yeah, that's a good quote. Yeah, it's a good quote. Wow, that's the one that makes you, want to throw your
Hmm.
arms out. That's the good
Yeah.
stuff. That's the good juice.
Yep. Um, those are, your heart smiles.
Yeah.
Your heart smiles. So, Leanne, we could go on forever and a day, talk for days and days and days. But we don't really have that kind of time. But the three key pillars that we drew out today gives people a really good understanding what you're about. And if they wanted to know more about you, what are some of the services that you might provide?
So I am a speaker, so I can come in and speak to any group or organization. I'm an international bestseller, so I have a book that's for sale as well. All of those are located on my website. I teach Reiki and I have a small Reiki practice. And I'm going to be launching my happiness. I'm a certified happy for no reason trainer, and I'm going to be launching my happiness program so they can reach out through my website and drop their information. There's a freebie there too. And when those classes launch, they'll be on my VIP list.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, so exciting. And if we, you can just look here on the screen, and I will have the information on the screen or in the comments or in emails that I will be sending out along with this video. So, everybody, if you want to learn more about happiness, go look up Miss Hofer, and she can lead you to the journey that you want to experience
And we'll have fun doing it. Thanks,
and have
Weezy.
fun doing. Thanks, Leanne. Until next time, my friend. I love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.